Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Lorraine Jensen, and I'm your host this evening for the Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living podcast. My guest today is Marieke Leliveld. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we're going to have a lovely chat in a little while. But before we get there, I want to talk about where we're meeting, who we are, who Marieke is, and then we'll get cracking. So, Marieke will be speaking at the Unitarian Fellowship Hall on February the 20th at 7 p.m. The location is 595 Townsite Road in Nanaimo, and we begin at 7 o'clock. We do ask that you bring a $15 donation to cover the costs. Now, the Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living, we help people to seek community, connection, and spiritual development to feel inspired and empowered by providing enlightening experiences through seminars, workshops, podcasts, fairs, and eventually conferences. Now, let me tell you about Marieke. Marieke Leliveld is a quantum healer and an alchemist. She is an energy intuitive and a beacon of light and transformation, where you can see that for yourself. As a certified Quantum-Touch and Jikiden Reiki practitioner, she is an animal communicator, an ICU Academy Teacher for children. Marieke embodies a myriad of roles. Myriad, is that a right word?
Myriad.
Myriad.
But English is not my first language.
It's not mine either. I'm Cockney.
Sure.
So each interwoven with the threads of healing, energy, communication, and enlightenment. Again, welcome. So let's get straight to the good stuff. It says here that you're an alchemist. As far as I know, alchemists can turn lead into gold. What exactly is an alchemist in today's world?
Such a beautiful question. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to dive in and to bring more conversation to what is energy and alchemy and quantum, and really tap into that true potential that we have. So when we speak about alchemy, we speak about light and dark. We speak about energy, vibration, frequency. And if we speak about turning, alchemizing lead into gold, we're also talking about our inner transformation and allowing the gold within our own self, the radiance, to come forward. And if anyone is familiar with the chakra system, I work beyond the chakra system in the sense of really working with the purest, undistorted light within our being that we already have. And when we look into the solar plexus, that is also where our sun, our solar, our radiance. So when we can align our energy systems, we really truly can let our golden heart shine, so to say. So that is for me alchemy in this present day.
Oh, that was very lovely. Thank you. So you're an animal communicator and an ICU Academy Teacher for children. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's so exciting. So
Good. I am too.
I actually have the Mindful right in front of me. And my apologies for any background noises. I'm downtown Vancouver, so we do have some city noises in the background. So this is the Mindful. And as you see, it's actually, these are just little makeup pads, and we put them in there so that the children, when they activate their light, it actually reflects. So it's quite interesting. And they start to see with their outer consciousness. So they start to see through the mindfold, through the blindfold. And the communication that happens when we get in touch with our auric field, our outer consciousness, is that the left and the right brain, they balance really beautifully. And therefore, we're able to send our light really literally from our heart, from the magnetic force field of the heart, into the outer layers and receive a communication. So the children really literally start to see with their cells of their body, with their consciousness. And that is very similar how animals communicate. Wow. And how animals feel in nature. They feel everything. If something approaches from the back, they will feel it. If they might have an intuitive instinct of where to go and how to navigate. So that is an innate ability that we have as humankind that we can develop beautifully between the age of 5 and let's say 12 to 14, but of course beyond that space as well. But that's when the children are very open in their energy. They're very able and willing and capable to just work with their light, expand it without having things kind of put upon them or without them doubting themselves, really, truly. Yeah. So it's a
So would
beautiful,
would
beautiful.
it work for somebody like you or me?
Yes, as adults, we can learn it. So the program that I teach is specifically for children. It's truly, truly heart-centered. Now, there are a couple of other programs in the world that teach it for adults, and they teach it also through a lot of different colors and games. So we can maybe in a moment even try something and have
Sure,
a
sure.
little activation. But so there are places where adults can learn it as well. And if people are interested, I would suggest get a mindfold. You can get them online and in metaphysical stores. And just start to work with your own energy body, creating that inner stillness within all the movement of our energy, so that we can see, feel, and connect with our inner knowing, our inner wisdom. And from
Oh,
that space,
so you put that blindfold on
yes.
and you take out the little makeup pads.
So I like to leave them in there because our trainer Nicola Farmer in the UK has trained us, and she is the founder of the ICU Academy, and she suggested have these pads in there all the time. Now, eventually, once the full activation, you might not need them, but there's something about the white and how the white and dark it reflects differently. So therefore, the white pads in there, so you can practice as an adult as well this way. And it's a beautiful meditation. The third eye actually becomes very, very calm, and therefore all other energy centers in the body open up. So it's if you have anxiety or have sensory overload, you really want to have some quiet time, the mindfulness is beautiful. So even if you don't want to learn how to see through the mindfulness, you just want to be in a comfortable place with yourself in stillness, release anxiety, integrate the energies of the day. It's a real nice practice for adults, and you never know where it's going to take you.
So what's the difference between that and an eye patch?
Probably very similar. Yeah, so any kind of sleeping mask will probably,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I didn't
very,
know if
very
there was
similar.
something magic in there, something
No,
alchemisty.
that would be fun. Hey, it's like magic. We do say to the children in the beginning, sometimes depending on their age, of like it's going to help you activate your magic. Really depends on where the child is. We use certain words, but we also really bring it to the magic is inside of you. So over time, they learn how to see with just having their eyes closed. They can see everything as well. Over time, they don't need the blindfolds, and they
Beautiful.
can take these practices to school and really work on their self-esteem. Their true potential really comes forward. The way that they approach difficulties and challenges becomes a lot easier because they have their light, and therefore they know themselves on a deeper level. And it's really fascinating to see their development and how fast they suddenly improve on certain things that maybe was difficult for them before. But once they're in touch with their light, it's just not an issue anymore.
Well,
And
just like us.
yeah, yeah, it's all the same in a way. Yeah. And that's true for the animals too. When we hold
Mhm.
space in animal communication, energy healing for the animals, it creates that space where we can just take that breath. It's like, oh, and the animals, they know this language, they know it. Within 15 to 20 minutes, they have that full ability to communicate in the energetic language. We activate it. Now, for certain animals in the city, or when the owners, and I don't like the word owners, human companion, when the human companion of the animal goes through things, the animals feel it as well, and the children
Yes,
also.
yes.
So it's not necessarily teaching, awakening within one another how to balance and harmonize energy, then both of you are supported and your energy fields can really work together. And we call this also quantum entanglement, when your
Mhm.
heart's energetic field, your heart coherency connects with someone else's heart. And then you bring that coherency in both your energy fields. And yeah, it's really beautiful to work together. And that's the time that we have arrived into, to feel into the field of oneness, into the webbing of our consciousness, and to feel the oneness in it all. And in that way, connect and create a world that we really truly want to live within, and really through the from the heart.
Absolutely. And, you know, I believe that so many of our listeners and followers and people that we follow are, you know, we're all looking for the same thing. And that's why I got involved with the Metaphysical Network, because I just believe that when we all come together, the world would just be a much greater place. And we just bring our energy. We just need to sit in our energy and just, I'm actually going to an intention circle this afternoon. And, you know, it's just about sitting, and you open your eyes and you can see the difference in the room.
Feel the transformation, and that
That's
is
it.
alchemy in its essence.
There you go. I'm an alchemist.
You are.
I'm getting a new business card.
We all are healers and alchemists. We all have that innate ability within us. And it's often about simplifying, but then deepening.
Yes.
And I always go back to the foundation of the breath, because without the breath, you don't have life. Okay? We won't be having our life force energy. So it's our breath moving the energies around. And then the grounding, being able to ground our energies, being able to release, but also grounding through the feet, but also even through the hands, being able to release energy out of the fingertips, out of the palms, releasing energy out of the chest, even the back body, the crown, and then opening up the heart coherency, and the magnetic force fields, and how does your heart energy connect with your auric field. So that is really the foundation. And most of us, we really remember once we start to breathe, and then we go into our grounding, and we can even, as we're speaking about, let's take a breath together. And let's feel that breath rising to the top of the crown as if it's like steam rising. And then when you breathe out, feel the breath going down the back body, down the nervous system, your spine, and out of the tailbone. So just for a moment, feeling your breath like steam rising. The exhalation, letting it run down the spine and out of the tailbone, creating like a third anchor. So the tailbone is a third anchor. And then we start to breathe down the feet. We become really stable. Then we can start to breathe into the heart and open up the heart's energy into our auric field. Yeah. So we do this with the children, but then in a very playful way. And the animals naturally know how to do this. We don't even have to tell them. We just have to hold the space, and it happens. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get my dog in here.
That would be really beautiful. They're so receptive and telepathic as well. And the children too, they're fully telepathic if you want them to be.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And so, how did you know that this work was for you?
Good question. I knew, I just felt it. If anyone has ever felt like goosebumps when someone says something or you see something, and I call them spirit bumps or truth bumps. And it's interesting to start to feel, where in your body do you feel them? In your arms, in your back? Like, start to listen to those little tiny signals as well. So I just knew. I saw a documentary online, and I just knew, and the pandemic had just set in. So I had the opportunity to learn online with Nicola Farmer, and it was beautiful because you go through an own inner growth and expansion process. Because if we want to hold space for the children, then we do have to purify our own light body and really show up for any distortions, any accumulations of energies. Yeah, so it's been really beautiful. Things find you when you're ready for them too, I find.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. As long as you're open.
Exactly.
As long as you're open. When I keep my mind so busy and so focused on unnecessary things, I sometimes miss the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another way of alchemy as well, of how do we show up for ourselves every day? How do we wake up in the morning, and what is the first thing that we do? Please don't grab your phones or your devices. Have at least an hour to just be with yourself. If that is while you're getting ready, that can be a meditation. And it's really, yeah, how do you move throughout your day? And when you notice an accumulation, how do you show up? How do you alchemize it in that moment? So we do a lot with breath, and the foundation breath, grounding, heart energy. And then maybe some people like automatic writing, to write things and acknowledge how they're feeling. So then once you're acknowledged, or you acknowledge yourself, you can process it. Or EFT tapping on the body. Or there's so many different beautiful energy practices. Nature, just putting a hand on a tree can already help you to ground and connect with the Schumann frequency. So it doesn't have to be complicated. But I think for us as a society, it's more about realizing we are pure energy. We are the elements, and that is how we connect within and out, and the micro to the macro. And the children, they know this, the animals know this, we know this. It's just we kind of have had certain systems of society overwrite. And now we're coming back to a place where we get to really be our true authentic self.
Beautiful.
It's a journey.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's practice.
Yes.
It's practice. I live on the seawall in Nanaimo, and I just walk out the door, and as soon as I'm outside, it's like, boom, I'm there, right? And I just keep my mind open to the joy and the beauty of what's behind the gate when I open the gate. And it's just practice. It's practicing little things.
Like a muscle, and
yeah,
holding the light, or holding the darkness in the light, and holding the light in the darkness. Because if you look at both, they both hold each other. It's the yin, the yang. And we never know what's around the corner. But if we open up our potential, our possibilities, then we might receive that gift. But if we are in a lower, denser, contracted frequency, then even the cells, they contract, the muscles contract, your mind contracts, then we can't receive because we're not in that alignment to really receive. And this is an alchemy practice maybe I would like to share with everyone, is to feel into the chest and to feel into the solar plexus, into your sun, your center of power and emotions. And there's, for a lot of us, we hold a lot of grief and we hold a lot of tension and stress. And when we start to breathe into golden light and start to just breathe it like a spiraling, moving way through the chest, and start to feel into receiving. And this is for some of us more challenging than others. To maybe you want to lay down so that your spine is nice and relaxed, and really go into the chest, onto your chest, and feel that you can receive more and more and more. And notice, without any judgment, where do you feel contraction? Because we all have sort of a cap on how much do we allow to be received by us. And I would like everyone to go into it's infinite. You can keep receiving infinitely. And if you can connect with that infinite energy within your solar plexus, that could be a beautiful gift to yourself.
Are you going to be doing that on the night of the 20th?
Yes, on the 20th, we will do different kind of practices. I will bring a couple of games that I play with the kids. That is really fun for adults as well.
I love games.
We will activate our extra sensory abilities together. Just have a real fun time to play with our light, but also it's serious play at the same time. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I, for one, I'm certainly looking forward to it. Very wonderful. Thank you. Do you have any upcoming events that you want to talk about?
Thank you for asking. I have once a month, I will hold a virtual energy awareness workshop. I'm stepping away a little bit from the workshop. It's a space that we co-create together where we can work with our own energies, really checking in, how are we doing now? So the next one will be the 27th of February. And the details are on my website as well, consciousquantum.com.
Okay.
And if anyone is interested to set up an event, I'm very open to invitations. I love co-creating. So people can always reach out and we can create something together.
There's nothing greater than co-creating, is there? Nothing greater than co-creating. Wonderful. So, once again, everybody, we will be meeting on February the 20th at the Unitarian Fellowship Hall right here in Nanaimo at 595 Townsite Road. Marieke will be there to share her wisdom, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. So thank you, Marieke, so much for sharing with me, and we all look forward to meeting you there.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really looking forward.
Thank you. Take care.